It's Whitney from whitneylauritsen.com, and welcome back to another episode of EVG Venture, the channel where I share all the lessons and experiences I've acquired through being an online entrepreneur in hopes that you will feel inspired and educated to do a lot of this yourself so you can work for yourself too. I wanted to do the special little bonus episode in my car. It is a Friday night, and I just got home off two of the most notorious freeways in the United States, which is the 405 and the 101. Or maybe they're just really well known in Los Angeles. They are known for the traffic. So when everybody complains about the traffic in Los Angeles, they always talk about these two highways, freeways, whatever you want to refer to them as. And when people talk about LA, they talk about traffic so frequently. They talk about how much time they spend commuting and how much time they're in their car, and it's always got this negative energy. I just drove for about an hour from one side of LA to the other, and I feel so relaxed, happy. I enjoyed every moment that I was in my car. And I wanted to share with you why and how you can apply this to your own life, even if you don't live in LA, because I've just witnessed such a massive change in my life. I drove from a part of town where I used to work. One of my last full-time jobs was in this part of town, and I was driving down these roads that I would go home on, and I remember sitting there feeling so unhappy and just wishing that I wasn't there, that it wasn't 6 p.m. and I was stuck in traffic with all these other people. I just hated that. And there were a number of reasons. One is I wasn't really happy working for somebody else. I didn't quite know it yet. I didn't know that I was gonna start my own business, but I just wasn't happy. I felt tired, and I felt like I was living a life where I wasn't really doing what I loved. I wasn't getting as much money as I wanted, and I was just spending my time doing things that were not part of my passion. So that was a huge reason behind why I hated being in traffic. And how many of you can relate to that? I bet it's most of you. Now that I work for myself, when I drive, I'm driving somewhere truly by choice. I was doing a photo shoot supporting my friend Tess Master. She's going to be in a magazine called Vegetarian Times, and it was a choice for me to go. I wasn't paid to go, but I still drove on a Friday in Los Angeles through all this traffic to support her, and that's a whole other topic. But Tess, I bring up Tess because she's also another woman who runs her own business and is living her own life, and she's painting this incredible life for herself, right, doing very similar things. And as I was driving home, I thought about how thankful I was to be able to do something like that on a Friday, because I make my own schedule. So this whole concept of Fridays and traffic and being in the car too much completely changes when you lead your own life, when you're in full control, when you are the one, I wanted to use a reference like steering or driving, right? You get my point there. It's so different. And any of you who are working for someone else and not happy, I want you to know that there is a life outside of that, that you can work for yourself and make your own hours and enjoy being in the car. And it's so true. Right now, for me, I really enjoy being in the car. Another reason is I love my car. I have an electric car now. And this car, just having an electric car has changed my relationship with driving too. But that's a whole nother story. The other thing is, two other things that I was reflecting on today is, one, technology has changed so much, and I might be dating myself a little bit, but I remember when I first moved to LA, iPhones didn't exist, and to go somewhere, you either had to have this thing called a Thomas guide, which is like a guide that you opened up and planned out your route, or you would go on, what was that site called? Google Maps wasn't that big at the time. It was called MapQuest. You would go in there, map out your route, and then you'd print it out and bring it with you. And so I remember being in traffic for years and years with that type of plan, right? So that's how I would literally map out where I was going to go. And I would be stuck in traffic just thinking, this sucks because I feel like I have no control. I don't know what I'm doing. And it wasn't until a few years ago where well, of course, with the iPhone, things really started to change, but I really want to recommend to all of you who are sitting in traffic, no matter what part of your life, and use an app that really shows you where the traffic is and how to avoid it. My personal favorite is called Waze, W-A and I convince everybody to use this app because it's changed my experience driving. What it does is it's all user-generated traffic reports. So everybody else who has it turned on in their cars, it's taking information from them, and it will help you know exactly how long you're going to be in traffic. It keeps getting better and better. Now the technology will tell you how long you're going to be sitting in traffic for. And I remember I was sitting on the same road that I used to sit in traffic for. I remember thinking, when am I going to be out of traffic? And is there another way that I could go to avoid this traffic? Now we have all this fantastic technology that tells us that. Waze actually says out loud, you're going to be in traffic for 10 minutes. And for me, that's so relieving. So whether you're using Waze or any other app, you know, for me, I don't know if there are other apps out there. If there are, let me know in the comment. But I'm so dedicated to that app, and it's changed my driving experience so much. And lastly, a huge reason why today and almost any other day that I'm driving is so pleasant is because I listen to podcasts. I have become such a massive fan of podcasts. I got really into them in September 2014, so not that long ago. And now I queue up all my podcasts. I listen to really inspiring podcasts. I'm really into the business podcasts because I love just absorbing all of that information. But whatever type of topic you want to learn from, podcasts are just so phenomenal, and they're free. So you can download all of this free information, whether it's educational or inspirational or just entertaining. You can kind of just enjoy the process of being in the car because your full attention is on two things: driving and listening to something. So back in the day, I would just listen to music and it would be kind of calming, but really not that stimulating. Now I am in the car so active, and I want to just jump out of the car and do something as soon as I get home or wherever else I'm going. I actually look forward to driving because that is my podcast time. So I wanted to just share this with you because so much has changed in the years of me being in LA. I've lived in LA for over 10 years now, and I just see it from so many different perspectives. But this really isn't about LA. This is about people's perception of being in the car, the time they spend, you know, the energy, the money they put into the gas, or if you drive an electric car, your electricity with your car. And then that kind of wasted time, it changes. When you start making your own hours, and then you start using all this amazing technology we have to figure out how to get around traffic, and then you have something really stimulating to listen to me, it becomes an incredibly enjoyable experience. So take that negative experience, turn it into something positive, and overall keep working towards living the life that you want, so that when you're in the car, it's because you want to be, it's because you choose to be, not because you feel like you have to just to go to work and then go home afterwards. I feel so happy right now, despite being in the car for an hour in traffic. So I had to share that with you. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more about building the life that you want and running your own business, working for yourself, I do teach these private sessions and group sessions. You can go to whitneylauritsen.com and it'll lead you directly to my Pick My Brain sessions. I'm getting really into those right now. I would love to have you there. I also do my separate project, which is Real Influencer. I have a weekly podcast with Kobe Kim, and we also run courses there. So I have so much information now. It's becoming a huge part of my career, is helping other people, other content creators specifically, learn how to start their own business so that they can work for themselves and lead the lives that they really, really want to live. You can do it too. I believe in you. Thanks for being here. And before you go, or before I end this, before you leave this page, basically, leave me a comment down below and tell me, do you have a favorite podcast that you listen to? Is there another app beyond Waze that's really good with helping you navigate traffic? And anything else that you want to share about being in the car, really? How have you kind of changed your whole experience with being in the car to be a more positive experience? Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Until then, all the best of luck to you with living the life that you really want. Bye.